So as a society, we have turned human shelter into a financial asset, right? Homes have gone from being something that simply people purchase to live in to things that people store their wealth in and expect to grow their wealth with. And homes, the act of buying a home, the act of taking on leverage to buy a home has become an integral piece to our financial system. And it's completely backwards, right? So much of my generation, Gen Z, we have no hope that we'll ever be able to own a home. And that's because of the very high monetary premium that homes carry. And because so many people use homes as financial assets, and not just people, but corporations use homes and real estate for investments, it makes the dream of owning a home, the classic, American dream, it makes it further and further out of reach. And so why is this the case? This is the case because in an inflationary debt-based monetary system, people need to use things like homes just to maintain their purchasing power. This is why we have this K-shaped economy, because money fails as a store of value, right? Everyone, on some level intuitively knows that if you save $100 for 5 to 10 years, it's going to buy less during that time period. So that's why wage earners get so crushed by inflation. Their wages aren't going up at the same rate that asset prices are inflating, right? And home prices seem like they're just going to go up forever, because in an inflationary debt-based monetary system, assets continually get more expensive. And the reason homes are financial assets are not because they have properties that make them a good store of value, right? Not because they're a worthwhile investment for a long time. They're a financial asset simply because the incentives around buying a home have made it so, right? Look at things like the financial crisis of 2008, right? We had these mortgage-backed securities, so much to the point where people are creating financial instruments backed by people's mortgages. And then those instruments became illiquid when people started not being able to pay their mortgage. So all of this is just to say that our financial system has been built around the perception that homes are an investment and a financial investment. But intuitively, we know this shouldn't be the case, right? Owning a home you're taking on a lot of liability, right? There's issues with the house. You have to constantly get it fixed. Every year that house has more and more outdated features and materials, right? It really doesn't make sense. A home should get cheaper over time, right? Because we're constantly inventing new ways to build, new materials that make things cheaper, right? As a human species, we're constantly figuring out how to innovate and improve processes and make things more efficient and streamlined. So why wouldn't the construction of homes be different, right? When you buy a home, you should be paying for the materials that went into that house, the land it's on to some degree, and the labor that went into creating that home. So if that was the case, homes would only ever get cheaper. And again, this contributes to the K-shaped economy, the wealth gap, because wage earners are completely priced out of owning a home altogether, right? They're only earning a wage and renting. So they don't experience the asset appreciation that homeowners experience. Right. And it's not like those homeowners are doing something, productive to society. They simply bought a home because someone told them it was a good investment. It's a good, thing to do for the future. And, they just benefited from this system. So again, this just isn't the way things should be. It doesn't make intuitive sense. It's not logical that a home should go up in value forever, right? to some degree, we all understand that this shouldn't be the case and that this can't be sustainable forever. And so what is the solution? We can talk about the problem all day, but the solution is to fix the money, right? Wage earners, right? The currency that they earn in exchange for their labor should be the financial asset itself, right? When you earn money, right? And, currency and money have a little bit of a different definition, but when you earn currency in exchange for your labor, that should be a financial asset. You shouldn't need to then go park that in another financial asset just to keep up with the rate that the money loses its value, right? And that's why I talk about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is a new monetary system that is fundamentally different from the debt-based inflationary monetary system. Bitcoin has a absolute capped supply, meaning in a world where Bitcoin is the monetary standard, right, the medium by which we exchange and store value, then that capped supply means wage earners are able to share in that gained productivity by innovation and increasing efficiency to drive down prices. Again, it's that simple. When you go to work, you exchange your finite time for currency, right? That currency should be a financial asset, right? You shouldn't need to become a part-time investor, a part-time trader just to keep up with inflation. The money should hold its value over time because that's only fair. And it's possible, right? Bitcoin is not a pipe dream, right? Bitcoin is a monetary network that's existing and operating in parallel with this debt-based monetary network, and it's completely voluntary. You can choose to just transfer your saved energy into this new monetary network. So yeah, I think we've been lied to some degree. And people that say, buy a house, it's a good investment, they have good intentions, definitely. But they have been lied to also, right? We're not saying buying a home is a good investment because it's going to become more valuable over time. We're told buying a home is a good investment because that's simply what home prices have done. And now we understand why. So that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, together, let's work, save, and build a brighter future with Bitcoin. See you in the next video.